Hi everyone, this is Jenny and I am the bursar here at Beloit College. Thanks for joining me today. The bursar's office is located in Pearsons Hall in the financial services area. In our area, you'll also find the financial aid office. We realize that sometimes when you have billing questions, it may also include the financial aid office. So it's really nice that they're right there in the same area as us. It makes it way easier for you, and you can consider us a one-stop shop for all your billing and financial needs. We work very closely with that office. Today, I'm going to go over our billing process and payment of options available to you. If you find that you have questions regarding billing, you can contact us anytime. At the end of this presentation, I will provide our contact information for you. So some of the important things I'm going to be going over today are going to be how to access your Student Account Center, which is our billing portal that we have. And then how to add a authorized user, such as a family member, so that way they have access to the billing portal. How to retrieve and read your billing statement. And then also payment options available to you to pay that bill. So Beloit College has partnered with TMS, Tuition Management Systems, and Nelnet to provide you with a convenient place to view and manage your financials here at Beloit. Within that site, you'll be able to do many things such as share that access, like I'd mentioned before, set up payment plans, and also pay that bill. To gain access to this Student Account Center at beloit.afford.com, you'll need to make sure that you complete your registration. You will be getting a registration email here shortly, about mid-June. You should receive it in your beloit.edu email address. So make sure to be on the lookout for that email, and when you get it, please make sure that you go ahead and complete that registration as soon as you can. So that way you don't get delayed messages and everything from this billing portal. Here's an example of what that email, that registration email is going to look like coming from the billing portal, beloit.afford.com. The email is coming from the no reply at afford.com. And then you'll just want to make sure you click on the button that says register within this email. And then just complete the registration by following the steps, setting up your password, and then you'll be all good to go. I'm going to show you what the Student Account Center will look like once you actually log in. So here is beloit.afford.com. You're going to go over here to the login section. And so make sure you complete that registration because you're going to have your Beloit email as your login. So I'm going to plug this in as the email that I have so I can show you an example. And then you're going to put in your password. Now this is a password that you're going to create, and it's going to be something different than your Beloit email password and everything else you're using on the Beloit end. So this is something that you create on your own. It's not going to be the same. You could make it the same, but they don't tie together. So once you enter in your login information, it brings you to the Student Account Center. And I'm just going to pull down. You can have, if you're a parent and you have multiple students, you can set them up here so you can do a drop down. So we have one student here and another student here. So today we're going to look at Minerva Mouston's Student Account Center. So you can see here we're viewing the account for Minerva Mouston. Account number, this is Minerva's student ID number. And this is just right here is a summary of what's going on with Minerva's account. So you can see that there are fall 2020 charges. It shows an amount due. Right down here is a total amount due. We do separate out the terms on the balances and everything. So again, this is a tab. This is just a summary of everything. If you look here, there are many tabs that go across the top here. You have account activity, which will just show all the transactions that are happening on the student account. So if you want to do a search within there, you're more than welcome. The next 3 tabs I'm going to go into detail a little later, but you have your statements tab, payment plan tab, and a payment options tab. And again, going back to the summary tab, you can do a lot of things within here. You can click on fall 2020 to view just fall 2020 information. You can also click on estimated financial aid, and a window will pop up. Now I want to mention here on this website, you want to make sure you have your pop-up blockers off, because pop-ups do open up on this website for like this screen and for your statements. So that'll just be something that you'll want to make sure that is turned off to be able to see everything if you do have it on for certain websites. So this estimated financial aid will show all the financial aid that's pending at this point, which you could match to your award letter. So I'm going to X out here. So now that you've seen what the Student Account Center has to offer you, it is very important that you share access with anyone that may be helping you with this billing process. If you do have someone in mind that you want to share it with, I would highly suggest that you do it right away when you complete your registration. An authorized user will receive their own login credentials and be able to have the same access as the student. Being an authorized user also allows billing notifications to go to that personal email of that authorized user. So if you have somebody that's helping you pay the bill or manage your billing process, this is a great way of keeping them in the loop when statements are issued and when payments are due. So quickly, I'm going to show you back in that Student Account Center how to add this authorized user. So here we're back at Minerva Mouston Student Account Center. So we logged in, and I want you to go over here to the right-hand side where it says Manage Account Access. You are going to click here, and then go down here to Add Authorized User. So you just click on that, and then you're just going to add a name in of whoever you want to add. And keep in mind, this person's going to get an email, so that way they can set up their account and their password just like you did. And then they're going to have the same exact views as you. So I'm setting myself up here. And then you just have to enter in the email address twice, just to make sure you don't type it wrong. And then you have to make sure you check this box here. This is just giving, permission for that family member, anybody you want actually, to be able to view your financials here at Beloit College. So by clicking there, you're authorizing them to be able to view that information, and you're going to send that to them. It says, thank you, an invitation will be sent to that email address, Jenny Egan. Okay. And if you go over here, now you can see that there is a pending invitation sent to that individual. Now you can add as many individuals as you want. So if you have, a couple of parents that you want to add, an aunt, a grandparent, you can add anybody that you want to these accounts. So add as many people as you want that you actually need to help you with your billing process, because it's just, if they're helping you, it's going to make keeping them in the loop a little bit easier. And now one thing I like to add in about the authorized user, this just allows the user to be able to view your financial information here at Beloit College. This permission does not grant the permissions for us to discuss over a phone or an email the details regarding your student account. So there is another form that the Student Financial Services Office needs you to fill out, and it's called a FERPA form. And this FERPA form is giving us permission to speak to individuals about details regarding your student account, and this is due to privacy laws. I know the Financial Aid Office is going to be providing you with more information about this form in their presentation as well, but I'm going to just show you quickly where you can find this form. It's available on the Financial Aid website under their forms section. And again, you'll want to make sure you complete this and add any individuals that, if they're going to call our office, we want to make sure that we can speak to them regarding your account. So add anybody that you want us to be able to discuss information regarding your account to. So I'm quickly going to show you just where it is on the financial aid's website. So I'm currently at the Beloit.edu offices, financial aid, and then forms. So right here, forms, and it's right here, FERPA, Student Authorization to Release Financial Records Form. So another recommendation is if you set up your Student Account Center, set up that authorized user, might as well go and complete the FERPA form as well and send that into the office. So you would click on this form and then just fill it out and send it in. So once you've now registered for that Student Account Center at Beloit.afford.com, you're all set to start receiving billing notifications and be able to view that bill. Keep in mind that the billing statement for this fall semester are not going to be available until July. So you can log in, but you're not going to be able to see view that billing statement until they're actually issued. And you'll get a billing notification email when it is available. And then I had said set up the authorized user right away, because if you set them up, they're going to also get that billing notification email. So here is an example of the email that you're going to get from Beloit.afford.com, your Student Account Center, telling you when your view is ready to view. And again, authorized users will get the same email if they are set up in the system, and they have to complete that registration too. So your billing statement will include direct charges and estimated financial aid for you. I want to point out that your billing statement will differ a little from your financial aid award package that was given to you. Your award package is based on the entire year. Your billing statement that you're going to receive is only based on one semester, so for the fall semester. So basically everything's going to be split in half for you. So if you got a $10,000 scholarship, you would only see $5,000 dispersed on the fall bill. Everything is split in half. You will receive the second half in the spring semester. So I'm going to show you an example of how to find the bill and what it's going to look like here on where you log in. So back to the Student Account Center here at Beloit.afford.com. So when you log in, you're automatically at that summary tab here. So you have the account activity, and then right here in the middle is the statements tab. So you click on that, and then this is where you're going to see all your statements that are delivered to you. So if you're here multiple semesters, these are going to add up. So you're going to click on this. The line right here is showing you a summary of the bill, but you actually click on it and there's actually things that you can view. So if you click here, view your bill, and again, pop-up blockers must be off to be able to view this bill. This is an actual bill that you can print out if you need to, and it gives you a breakdown of everything that is being charged on your student account and what is due. Gives you the due date, balance due, where you send your payment. So all that will be included on your bill for you. So this student's receiving, it has tuition charged to their account, and then it has some scholarships, a Beloit college loan. I want to make sure that you're aware that you need to complete your entrance counseling and master promissory notes for all loans you wish to accept. If you don't complete these requirements, these loans will not disperse to you. They may have been awarded to you, but they can't disperse until you complete your required documents. The financial aid office has a presentation on how to complete these requirements. But if you do not wish to accept these loans, make sure you notify the financial aid office. And you can just send them an email at faoffice@beloit.edu. I'm going to be also including their contact information at the end of this presentation. And then I like to remind you that this is a little different from your award package you receive, because like I said, the award package is based on the entire year. I am only billing you for one semester at a time. So now that you've seen your bill, and if you have a balance due, Beloit College does offer many options to pay this. Please keep in mind that the billing due date is before the semester begins. You are able to make one-time payments. You're able to set up a monthly payment plan. Keep in mind that the payment plans do require an enrollment fee, a small enrollment fee each semester. And that's currently at $45. So obviously your first payment option that you could do is you could send us a personal check or money order through the mail. We just ask that you make the check out to Beloit College. Make sure you include the student's full name and ID number. And here is the mailing address you would send that that check to. Again, that information is provided on the billing statement that is provided to you. So if you write this down now, cool. Otherwise, it will be available to you and given out many times after this presentation. You can also make online payments on your student account. You can make an online payment through eCheck, ACH for free, credit card, debit card. Keep in mind there is a convenience fee when you use those types of cards. If you're paying with a debit card, keep in mind that it is treated like a credit card. So if you know what your banking information is, such as routing number and account number, I highly recommend entering in that information and entering it in the eCheck ACH option, because that option is free for you. So to make an online payment, you can actually do that by doing it directly in your student account center. So let me show you that real quick. But if you have somebody that wants to make a payment on your bill, but they don't have a login, that's okay. I'm also going to show you how you can make a payment without logging into your student account center. So if you have a grandparent that wants to make a payment, but you don't want to give them access to your student account center to be able to view everything, I'll show you where you can go and direct them to do that. Or you just don't want to share that information with somebody. There is ways to make online payments without having a login. So again, here I'm back at that student account center. You click on the summary tab. This is where, when you log in, where you're at. You're going to go over here to payment options. And here it's going to give you all your options of how you can make a payment. So if you're just doing a one-time payment, so you're just paying your bill in full, you would go down here. This is automatically populating what the balance due on the account is. You can edit this to be whatever you need it to be. So let's just say you have multiple people paying on your bill. So they can, pay $500, or, $1,000. You can edit it to whatever you need it to be. And then these are the different types of credit cards that we use. And then obviously the ACH eCheck option. Like I said, you can avoid any convenience fees if you do the eCheck option. But if you have somebody that you don't have a login, now I'm going to show you where you can make a payment without going through the student account center. So Beloit.afford.com. This is where you logged into your student account center. If you don't have a login, obviously you wouldn't go to this login over here. So what you're going to do is you come to Beloit.afford.com, scroll down a tad, and come to the section that says make a payment. Over here, make a one-time payment. There's going to be a little arrow here. You're going to click drop down here, and you're going to select student account payments. And then click make a payment to Beloit College. This window that's popping up here, it's just giving you a warning message if you're trying to make a payment towards a payment plan. This is not where you would make this payment. We're just making a one-time payment, so we're just going to hit continue just to push us through to the next screen. So here we come to where we can make a student account payment. The individual that's making the payment needs to know the student's first name, last name, student ID number, which is 7 digits long, and then whatever term they're actually paying on. The difference between paying here and in the student account center is this person cannot see anything. They cannot see what the balance due is. So if they know how much to pay, that's great. Otherwise, they have to plug it in here. So if they know they just want to pay $1,000, they're just going to plug in $1,000 and hit add. Again, they don't know how much your balance is, how much you owe. This is how they can go about and just make a payment, towards your balance, and it will just go towards your balance that's due. So if you're needing to make an international payment, Beloit College has partnered with Flywire, which is our international payment portal. You can check out their website and see what payment options are available to you for your country. If you have issues, it's super nice because their customer support team is available anytime through phone or chat. Super cool, they speak different languages. So they're there to help you day or night. I'm just going to quickly show you what that website will look like once you go to, it's beloit.flywire.com. Here is, so you type in beloit.flywire.com. This is where it takes you. And you would just select your country that you're paying from, and then you actually just plug in how much US dollars you want to pay. And then you just follow the prompts all the way through. And it gives you different options of how you can pay through this payment portal. Super nice. So we understand that some families can't pay in full by the due date. That's okay, that's no problem. Beloit College offers flexible monthly payment plans that you can take advantage of. If you are a student and you are, enrolled under a payment plan under your student account center credentials, you can do that. Otherwise, if you have a family member that's paying, towards your bill, I highly recommend having them set up their own student account center access and setting up a payment plan under their name, so that way they log in and they'll make payments towards the payment plan. But either or, student can set up a payment plan, authorized user can set up a payment plan. You can now also set up multiple payment plans. So a student may want to have a payment plan and the parent may want to have a payment plan. You can do however many payment plans you need to set up. Keep in mind that each payment plan does require an enrollment fee for each one. And that enrollment fee is currently $45. And then you need to make sure that your payment plans are set up prior to the semester beginning and on that due date that is for each semester, and that is prior to the semester beginning. So all payment plans are to be paid in full by November, but can start at different times. You can start them in July, you can start it in August, September. Keep in mind that the later that you start your payment plan, the bigger the payments are going to be. So for example, you could start your payment plan in July and do it for 5 months. So you would have a payment due on July 15th, August 15th, September 15th, October 15th, and November 15th. Or you could set up a payment plan that started in September. So you need to delay payment a little bit. So set up the payment plan by the due date, but your first payment isn't due until September 15th, and then you pay October 15th and November 15th. Keep in mind the $45 needs to be paid right away to make the plan active. So you can delay your payment, but you just have to activate the payment plan by paying the $45. I'm going to quickly show you where you go in that student account center again to set up that payment plan. So back over to the student account center for you. So, you log in, you're at your summary tab. You can go in multiple places. You go to the payment plan tab and enroll in a payment plan, or if you're at the payment options, it also gave you an option to enroll in a payment plan. So you'll click on that, enroll in a payment plan, and it, for fall 2020, enroll in a payment plan, click it. And this is where you're going to select the options of what you want to set up. So you can select a 5-month plan, a 4-month plan, a 3-month plan, and it shows you what the start date is and the fee associated with it. So the cool thing is if you scroll down, it'll tell you what your monthly amounts are going to be down here, and then what the due dates are. So you can kind of play around with it, select the 4, it adjusts it, select the 3. As you can see, as the lesser months you choose, the payments do go up monthly. And so you would just, select this all the way through and activate that payment plan. And then once you have it activated, you would log back into the student account center, go to that payment plan tab, and you'll be able to make payments towards this plan on those specific due dates. Another option for our students to take advantage of on paying their bill is taking advantage of the work study program. So work study earnings for a student working on campus can be paid directly towards their bill. So all students are paid directly unless they specify with the payroll office that they want it to be applied towards their tuition account. And this is a form that they'll fill out with the payroll office when they get a job, when they're applying for jobs. So how it works is every pay period that a student gets paid, this payment will be applied directly to the remaining balance on the student account. So it's applied basically as the student earns it. Now, we do not know what this fall semester will bring due to, everything that's going on with the pandemic, but we're hopeful that we'll be able to see you and that students will be able to work on campus this coming fall. And then that you'll be able to take advantage of a campus job and take advantage of this option to help pay down your bill. So now that I've shown you multiple payment options that you can pay directly on your bill, some of these may not be an option, but keep in mind that you can do a combination of things. You don't have to pay it all at once. You can pay a little bit right now and put the rest of it in a payment plan. So you can kind of mix and match things. But you can also take advantage of other loan options. If you need to discuss loan options, reach out to the financial aid office and they'll actually be able to tell you what's available to you, such as a federal Parent Plus loan, private loans. And again, you can do a combination of things to pay your bill. You don't have to do all or none. You can do part loan, part payment plan. Whatever works for your unique situation, do that. And if you need to talk to somebody about, how to get this all taken care of, just contact us and we'll help you through the process. You can also use, families have prepaid tuition plans or 529 college savings plans. Typically, those companies do send us check payments through the mail. So you're going to need to reach out to your financial institution that are holding your college funds and give them our mailing address. And you'll want to make sure you provide your student's information to them. So there's the student name and student ID number. So that way we can apply the funds appropriately when we receive the check in the mail. Students also receive private scholarships outside of Beloit College. If you have received a private scholarship, make sure you forward your award letter to the financial aid office so that they are aware of it. So that way we know that your bill is going to be taken care of with a private scholarship. And you can email that to the financial aid office at faoffice@beloit.edu. Again, I'll be providing the student billing information for the Bursar's office, our contact phone and email, as well as financial aid office. So that's basically what I have for you today. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. As always, please contact us if you have any questions. We know this is a lot of information for you to learn, but I promise you, promise, you'll soon be a pro at retrieving these billing statements and navigating through our Student Account Center. If you need to reach out to us multiple times, please do so. We're here to make this process go as easy as possible for you. So don't hesitate to get a hold of us and we'll help you as much as we can. We'll also be providing information again with this with billing statements after they're sent out. So don't worry if you misplace this information somewhere. You'll be provided this information again at a later date once the billing statements are sent out and everything. If you'd like to schedule a Zoom or a Google Hangout call, those are super cool because, sometimes it's easier to share a screen with you to see what you're looking at. And so if you want to set up a appointment like that, just reach out to our student billing email that we got listed here, and we can set that up for you and walk you through a process. Or else you can just call us or email us and we can help you that way as well. And again, I also included the financial aid office here. They're a big piece of the billing process and our offices work very closely with one another. So again, if you have a question for us, it may include financial aid. we'll work together to figure out how to answer your question. Again, thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you. Have a great day.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for watching my video. Today, I'm going to talk about missing financial aid documents and why it's important to submit those. My name is Betsy. I work in the financial aid office at the college. I'm the assistant director of the office. Our office is part of a bigger unit called the Student Financial Services Department. And we work closely with the finance office and the student billing office, so that if a student, we're all located in the same area, so if a student has a question, they don't have to figure out which office to go to. They just come to our main front desk, tell Elise at the front desk, what their issue is, and then she will help them get financial aid or student billing or whatever. So we're kind of a one-stop shop, and I've been doing the 2021 school year will be my 11th school year in financial aid. So we're here to help with, we have the experience and the ability to help you. So please reach out to us if you're having any struggles or issues. Our office exists to make this an easier process for you. So please take advantage of us. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about why making sure your missing documents is important to be paying attention to. Basically, all of the missing financial aid documents could impact your bill in some way, or it could impact your experience working with our office. So let's talk a few scenarios here. So if you were offered student loans on your financial aid offer, you need to actively accept those student loans and fill out all the paperwork needed for those loans in order to see those loans as a credit on your student bill. So if you want the loans, but then you don't do the paperwork for them, then your bill is going to seem like a lot higher than something that you're prepared for. So you need to be making sure that you're following the loan requirements there. And the loan requirements can be a little overwhelming. So if you need any help, please watch my other video on accepting, reducing, or declining student loans. In that video, I also talk about comparing other options if you need additional loans above and beyond what we've offered. I talk about that in that same video. So it's just 20-ish minutes long. I recommend a listen so that you know all of your options and what's available to you. Also, about 30% of our students' FAFSAs, which is the financial aid application, about 30% of those applications are selected for an in-depth review process by the federal government, so we don't have control over that. The government tells us that we need more documents for this FAFSA just to make sure it's correct. It could be a random selection. It could mean that you have an obvious error and their algorithm caught it, flagged you for verification, and then they're gonna have us fix that. So you might have to turn in a verification document. Maybe you have to turn in parent tax forms, maybe student W-2s. It all depends on, if who filed and who earned. But we'll list all of those documents in the location I'm going to show you in just a minute. There's a form that I'm going to talk about in depth called the FERPA form, which is a very important form for families to contact our office and speak to us about the bill or the financial aid on the student's behalf. So if the parent's gonna be paying a bill, they're having some tech issues, they need some help figuring out how much the payment plan is gonna be, the student needs to fill out this form so that we have the permission from the student to speak with the parent. And I know that doesn't seem right if the parent is the one making the payment, but technically everything is in the student's name, it's the student's account, and it's the student's financial records. So the federal government requires that we abide by these laws. So we're going to talk about that form as well. And then also students can't start their work study jobs once they're on campus. They can't start until all of their missing financial aid documents are in. So the summer is really the time to get all of that finished so that once we move in on campus, hopefully we're moving in on campus. I'm feeling good about it. I think we're all going to be here, but who knows with the pandemic. But anyways, once we're on campus, we want you to start the semester without any issues. So now's the time to be taking care of these missing documents. So where can you see these missing documents? So there's actually two places. So first, I'm going to show you the place that you're probably most familiar with, which is your application portal. So the same admissions application portal that you've been visiting to, check on your admission status and to fill out your housing form and and things like that. There's a financial aid checklist, and here's a screenshot of what that looks like. So for this particular student that I took a screenshot of, they filled out the FAFSA back in April, and then they were offered federal loans, but they haven't accepted them yet. They're missing the 2 requirements for those loans. And I talk about those loan requirements in depth in my other video, so you might want to take a listen to that. But yeah, we'll list everything that's missing here. And if you're looking at it and it's overwhelming and you're not really sure where to go, some of these you can actually click and it will take you to the location on our website that you need to be. But sometimes it's also just general information. So if you want to have an in-depth conversation with us, at the end of my presentation, I'm going to show you a link where you can sign up for a phone appointment with us. You can also just email us and say like, hey, are you guys available for a phone call tomorrow? That's fine too. Usually it's a walk-in, like students can just walk into our office, call at any time. Now that we're working at home, it's just a little more to coordinate and to make sure that we're touching base with you. So just send us an email and we'll be able to help you out. So the other place where you can see your missing documents is the Beloit College portal. So this is the portal that I use, like employees use, that our students use, our professors use. So this portal you have access to after you get your Beloit College email address. And while I'm on it, please make sure and get in the habit of checking your Beloit College email, because we're going to start using this email right away. And we're going to be sending you really important information through this email about your student billing account and your bill when it's ready. So let's get in the habit of checking that Beloit College email frequently, or maybe syncing it up with your phone so that you get a notification on your phone when you get an email from your Beloit College email. So again, your application portal will show almost everything, but at some point we're going to stop using that. So we do want you to get used to our new portal. You can get to it at portal.beloit.edu. Your username is the first part of your email address before the @ sign, and then your password's your email password. And then once you log in here, you can click on Financial Services, and then it might be a little small on your screen, but there's a little "You are here," and it says Financial Services, Financial Aid Document Tracking. So that's the route I took to click to get this screenshot. So you can see all the missing documents there. That's me, Elizabeth Hinkle, and Betsy. So I filed a FAFSA a couple years ago and was messing around with the different missing documents to make sure that they were set up right. So that's just a bunch of nonsense. But yours will look like that too. And then if you have applied with us before, but then or maybe you're coming back as a transfer student, your award year might be a drop down that you can flip between the different award years. So just make sure you're on the correct award year. It should be 2020, 2021. So that's where you can see the other stuff. This updates live as we pull in the documents that you're filling out and marking them received. You'll see statuses update in live time as well. Okay, so let's talk about this FERPA form. I should have put what FERPA stands for. I didn't think about it until just now, but I think it's the Family Educational Rights to Privacy Act. It's a law, it's an act that was put into place for student privacy. So it's a form that the student completes. So the student fills it out, the student signs it, and then sends it into our office. So our office being student billing and the financial aid office. The registrar's office, dean of students, they might have different FERPA forms. Ours is only for financial records. And I'll show you where you can get a copy of this form. You won't see this as a missing document in the portal because the law says that we can't force a student to fill this out. So it's the student's option to fill this out. We recommend it, but we can't require it. I know that seems silly, but that's the law. So let's make sure that we fill out this form if the student is going to be having a parent or guardian help them with the billing and financial aid process. We can't give out grades or anything about the academics or student life. This is strictly just financial stuff. So if you want to give parent access to financial records but not your grades, that's your business. That's no problem with us. So again, why are we requiring this form? It's a federal privacy law that prohibits the sharing of student data or student records without the student's permission. So the student actually can fill out the form and say, do not give my information out to anyone, or they can check a box that says, please You know, the following people are allowed to access my financial records, and you can do, you know, mom, aunt, sister, whoever you need help, whoever's gonna be helping you with the process, you can add them in there. And then that works for us in the financial aid office and the billing department. So let's find out where these forms are located. So this is a screenshot of the financial aid website for Beloit College. It's really difficult. I find it's difficult if you just go to beloit.edu and then you try to get to the financial aid page. I find that it's not so easy to do that. Remember, Google's your friend. Just Google financial aid, Beloit College, you'll get to this. So I'm in the forms tab. There's like tabs on the left there in the blue vertical column. And I have clicked on forms and taken a screenshot of that page. So that first document that you can see, it says 2021 dependent verification worksheet. So that 30% of students that were flagged for that in-depth review process, that's the document that you're gonna fill out. If you're independent student, then you'd fill out the independent one. We'll indicate in your missing documents which ones you need to fill out. And then that third one down is that FERPA authorization form. So let's have students fill that out, send them into us so that there's no hiccups when, you know, mom needs to contact us for whatever, you know, that's fine. Now, if a parent's having like technical issues, like picking a payment plan, but they don't need to talk about how much the payment plan is going to be, like, no, if you just need some general help, absolutely, you can contact us without a FERPA form, or if you're just logging in to make a one-time payment, or maybe grandma wants to log in and do a payment, we can help you with all of that. And actually, some payments can be submitted without logging in, makes it even easier. Someone from our billing department will be doing something, a short video about the billing process and how to log in and do all the payment plans and stuff like that. But I do want to mention that along with this FERPA form, the student can add an authorized user in their billing account so that the parent can log in and check and make payments on the bill without needing the student's username and password. And that access can be granted without a FERPA form. But if you've added if you added a parent as an authorized user and then they try to call the financial aid office, we still can't talk to them about details unless the FERPA form's in. So the authorized user doesn't dictate the FERPA. It's not good enough. It doesn't satisfy that requirement for the law, the FERPA requirement. So just a little thing to note there. All right, and then again, please contact us if you have any questions or if you're struggling with anything. If this stuff was easy, I'd be out of a job. I always say that. So, you know, please put me to good use. We're here to help. And then if you would like to sign up for a private phone or individual phone appointment, we have some set times that you can choose and sign up for at this link, which you can get to very easily from the admissions website too. So if you don't, you know, memorize or write down this site, that's no problem. But again, if the scheduled times don't work for you, just send us an email and we'll set up an individual time. You know, now with Zoom, you can even share your screen and I can walk through some requirements with you and direct you through the website and help you get everything that you need. So if you have any questions, let us know. Thanks for tuning in and have a good day. Hi everyone, this is Betsy from the Financial Aid Office at Beloit College. And we are going to cover today how to reduce, decline, and accept a student loan. So I'm going to go over a bunch of information about the student loans kind of at a high level. If you need any more information than what I'm covering today, or you want to go through it a little slower with someone, feel free to contact us. At the end of my presentation, I'm going to show you a link where you can sign up for a phone appointment with us. We can also make that a Zoom or a Google Hangout if you'd like. So let's just jump right into it. Let's talk a little bit about what are student loans first, and we're going to talk about where you can find them on your financial aid offer, and then what you need to do to accept, decline, reduce, that kind of thing. So first, student loans are lending programs that help you reduce your costs now, and then you repay later. So repayment typically begins after you graduate. The reason why I say typically is because it depends on the type of loan that you take. But I'll break all that down as I go through the different types. Some loans are offered to you automatically as a student at Beloit, or if you file a FAFSA application. Others you have to actually seek out and apply for every year. And again, I'll walk you through all of that. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the loan paperwork that needs to be completed, where, when, how often, and that kind of thing. So let's talk a little bit about the different types. So these are the different sources of student loans. So the federal government is by far the largest source of student loan money. So the federal government offers students the subsidized and unsubsidized loans, and the amount of subsidized versus unsubsidized is all the same for incoming students. It's going to be $5,500. The amount that is subsidized versus unsubsidized depends on your eligibility. Some students might see both of them. Some students might only see the unsubsidized loan. That's dependent on your FAFSA, and we determine that for you so that you don't have to do that. And then there's also a federal Parent Plus loan. Plus stands for Parent Loan for Undergraduate Students. And so that is a federal loan that a parent would borrow on behalf of their students' educational costs. So the borrower is the parent and the parent alone. It's not in the student's name at all. Whereas those subsidized and unsubsidized loans are in the student's name alone. So the Parent Plus loan is not automatic like the subsidized and unsubsidized loan is because it's credit-based. So that means you have to apply for it. They're going to check your credit and your ability to borrow the loan, your income, your debt to income ratio, things like that. So it is not automatic. You may have seen on other schools' financial aid offers the Parent Plus loan listed on there. And that's a projection that they're making. They're assuming that you would be eligible for that, but it's not actually set in stone until you apply for it. So we don't put it on the financial aid offers unless you've applied for it and you've been approved. So that one you'll only see, again, if you've actively sought out and applied for that loan. And I'll tell you how to do all that in just a minute. And then some students may also see the Beloit College loan, or they may only see the Beloit College loan. So we do offer the Beloit College loan to international students, and international students don't qualify for the federal loan, so they'll see the Beloit College loan offered to them if they're eligible. And then the Beloit College loan is also available to eligible domestic students as well. So you might actually see a combination of federal and the Beloit College loan on your financial aid offer. We're going to look at a sample financial aid offer in just a minute, where we'll talk about like what it actually looks like on your financial aid offer. And then there are private loans available as well. So let's say the out-of-pocket cost that we've projected for you on your financial aid offer is, let's say it's $20,000, and we can pay some, but not all of that. So that's when you may consider a private loan or that parent loan that I talked about to supplement, to finance the rest of that. The private loans are a little bit different because the application process, the requirements to apply, that's all dependent on the bank that you choose to work with for those private loans. Sometimes they offer only loans in the student's name with a creditworthy cosigner. Sometimes they offer parent loans as well. Every bank's a little bit different. We have a site that will help you determine how to find lenders and things like that I'll show you in just a minute. But private loans are loans that, again, are not automatic. These are loans that are available through banks, but you have to, again, actively seek out those resources and apply for them. And we're here to help you do that if you don't even know where to start, which is understandable. It's a lot to know. So let's talk a little bit about what this actually looks like on a financial aid offer. So here you're seeing a sample of a student's financial aid offer. So this is the third page of the financial aid offer, and it's the second page that has actual numbers on it. But if you're counting, front back, it's actually page number 3. So this particular student is a domestic student who's eligible for both of the federal loans, the subsidized and unsubsidized, and then the Beloit College loan from Beloit College, in combination $8,000. So in the financial aid offers, we've done the math for you. So on the previous page, it would have shown you your out-of-pocket cost before student loans. And then this page is showing you the loans that you automatically qualify for. And we're subtracting those loans from your out-of-pocket to give you your estimated remaining direct costs after loans. So if you were to take the loans listed there, then that number below, that $12,669, that's the leftover amount after the student has accepted the $8,000. Okay, so this particular student has some decisions to make. Do they want to use these loans? Do they not want to use them? Do they want to use some but not all? Or maybe they want to use all of them and then they also want to apply for a parent loan or a private loan to finance the rest of it. So that's up to you and your family. If you want to talk through those options with us, we would be happy to help you through that and to walk you through the different terms of the loans and things like that. So let's talk a little bit about the loan documents that are required. So documents that are required for financial aid will be posted in your application portal with Beloit College. So that same portal that you went to check to see if you have all your admission stuff in, to submit your housing application, that same portal, there's a financial aid section for missing financial aid documents. It's a really good idea to check that. At some point, we're going to stop updating that because you're going to be an active Beloit student, and we're going to want you to use the Beloit College portal. So either place is fine for now. Just know in the future, once you've started the fall semester, you should be using the Beloit College portal at that point. So you can log into that portal at portal.beloit.edu, and then there's a financial services tab, and then you can click on financial aid documents, things like that. And that's where you'll see an active list of all the missing documents as well. Aid, so if you're borrowing a student loan, that's considered financial aid. So aid can't be dispersed until all the requirements have been met for those funds. So if you need to accept a Beloit College loan, we can't actually put that money towards your bill until you've finished out all the paperwork. So ideally, we want you to get this done as soon as you can. Bills are released at the beginning of July, and we want you to be able to see those loans on your bill. So please try to get that done as soon as you can. And then the requirements that I'm going to talk about, some you only have to do once and you're done. Some you have to do every single year, and I'll point those out for you. But first, let's talk about how to decline or reduce your loans. So this is really easy. If you don't want to use the loans that we're offering to you, all you need to do is email the financial aid office at faoffice@beloit.edu. We prefer that students use their Beloit College email to send in their request to decline or reduce a loan. We can't receive requests from parents. So please, students, make sure that you're logging into your Beloit email. If you're having issues with your Beloit email, you can email us from a private email address, but please include your student ID number. If you need help locating all of that, please reach out to anyone on campus and we'll be able to help you. So again, please make sure that information is coming from a student. Just a sidebar conversation, parents who need to talk to the financial aid office or the billing office, there is a form that students need to fill out to give us access, or to give us permission rather, to give you access to that information. So once students are Beloit College students, their information is private and locked down, even if they're not 18, even if they're still a tax dependent. There's laws that we have to follow as far as student privacy is concerned. So there is a form that students can give us permission to speak with you. That's called a FERPA form, and we will be reaching out to you with more information on that soon. So let's talk about accepting student loans. And actually, let me flip back real quick just to talk a little bit more about reducing a loan. If you want to borrow some but not all, same process, send the email to the financial aid office. But just be specific in which loans you want to use, which ones you don't, which ones you want to reduce, so that we understand what you're asking for. And then accepting the loan. So this is where it gets a little confusing, but we're here to help. That's why our offices exist. If this was easy, I would be out of a job. So don't feel bad if you need any help. It's confusing stuff. So to accept the loans that you've been offered, you will take different steps depending on the loans that you've been offered. So for the federal subsidized and unsubsidized loans, if you want to accept them, the student will go to studentaid.ed.gov. This is the all-encompassing student federal portal. So you're going to log in there. The student is going to log in there with the student's username and password from FAFSA. Let's be very careful and make sure we're not logging in with the parent username and password, because it has to be completed with the student's username, which is connected to the student's social security number. And if a parent does it on the student's behalf and with the parent's username, it comes to me. as if the parent themselves with a parent social security number completed those. So it won't sync in my system. So just make sure you are logging in as a student. The student's going to complete entrance counseling, which is a one-time only requirement. And entrance counseling is just counseling. It's just counseling you as a new time borrower entering the college process, the college borrowing process, student loan process. And it's just going to teach you everything that you need to know about the loans, when you pay them back, who do you pay back, all the different terms that you need to know about interest rates and how interest accrues, what is interest, things like that. So you will also do a refresher called exit counseling when you are graduating. So it's kind of like just like a revamping you and making sure you understand all the loans before you have to pay them back. And then the next one is the master promissory note. You may hear that referred to as an MPN. So that master promissory note is basically your legal agreement to borrow and repay the loan. So we don't want students who are declining these loans to complete these steps, although if you accidentally do, and then you're like, wait, I don't want those loans, again, all you have to do is send us an email saying that you want to reduce the loan or cancel the loan. Starting next summer, there will be an annual requirement to re-accept your loans every summer. It was supposed to be implemented this summer, but the feds dropped it because of the global pandemic. There was just too much going on. They decided to postpone the requirement until next summer. So it's an annual borrowing acknowledgement, which basically means that every year you're kind of re-agreeing to the loans that you're borrowing. It's kind of just one more step to make sure that students are fully understanding the debt that they're taking on every year, so that there's no surprises when we graduate. We don't want anyone to be surprised and say, I took a student loan. You know, we don't want there to be any confusion like that, which is why there's this new requirement, so that every year students kind of re-upping and re-agreeing to the loans that they're borrowing. So that you don't have to do that annual borrowing acknowledgement this year, but you'll see it as an option at studentaid.ed.gov when you log in. If you want to do it, you can, but there's no requirement this year. We'll reach out to students next year to remind them to do that next summer. Okay, so if you were offered a Beloit College student loan, first-time borrowers, that you actually can't do it yet. Yet being today's May 31st, we will send you an email to your Beloit College email when it's ready to accept. So you will follow the instructions in that email. So that's what you're waiting on at this point. We're getting everything set up with our servicer. It'll be ready any day now, depending on when you're listening to this. Again, it's May 31st as I record this. So, so after you get that email, the student is going to visit signmyloans.com, and you're going to complete a few steps. When you first log in there, you need to be setting up your account with your Beloit College email, and then it'll take a few steps to actually establish your account. But once you're in there and you're ready to go, you're going to complete 5 brief steps. 5 sounds like a lot, but I promise once you start going through it, it's pretty quick. So you're going to complete entrance counseling for the Beloit loan. You're going to complete a required reading section, accept the loan offer, view the disclosure statement, and then sign the master promissory note. Pro tip, I would recommend that you have, for all of these requirements, I would recommend that you have your financial aid offer with you, because it's going to ask you to feed it some information so that it can project, payments and, payment plans in the future based on what you're borrowing. So I would just have that information with you so that you can work through those steps a little more easily. So let's talk about the additional loans. So the loans that we talked about on the first page or the last page were loans that you're automatically offered based on your applications and your eligibility. The loans I'm going to talk about on this page are specific to students who are, or families who are seeking out additional financing options. So if you want to borrow a federal Parent Plus loan, these are the steps you're going to take. So the parent logs in at studentaid.ed.gov. Again, we get parent loans in the student's name all the time by mistake. So just make sure that the parent's logging in and completes these steps if you want to borrow the parent loan. You are going to complete the request for the Plus loan. there's two types of PLUS loans though, so just be careful on the one you select. There's one for graduate students, and then there's one for parents. So you just want to make sure you're following the instructions for parents. And then after you finish the request, it will tell you immediately if you're approved or denied. Like if a page just refreshes and says, congratulations, you're offered the loan, or it'll say, unfortunately, we cannot offer the loan to you. If you are denied for that parent loan, parents, please contact us and talk to us about your additional options, because there are several other options that you can take to get that loan, the credit decision overridden to approved. And then, or if it's denied and we can't get it approved, there's even some more options on what the student can then do. So please contact us for some guidance on that. Backing up a little bit, if you are completing the request for the PLUS loan and you are approved and you want to borrow the loan, you will then complete the master promissory note. And then parents, you will actually fill this out every summer. So you'll fill it out every year. It's based on credit every year, so it's not an automatic one-time loan application. You do have to actively seek it out every summer. And then along with that, you too will, starting next summer, have to complete the annual borrowing requirement, which again is just another educational tool. It shows you how much you've borrowed so far and make sure that you understand the loans that you're accepting. If we're doing a private loan, then you would just work with the lender that you would like to choose. If you have no idea even where to start or which lenders are available, on our website, we have a tool called Fast Choice, and on there are the lenders that our students are choosing. So it's not a preferred lender list. We're not telling you on that list who you can borrow from. We're just telling you who our students are using. So you can choose someone off that list if you like, but it's just kind of a jumping off point to get you started. There's some comparison tools. They'll show you interest rates and payment periods and things like that, so that you have all the information at hand while you make your decision. So after you choose the lender, you would then fill out the application, and they have their own requirements on who's approved and who's denied. But if the student is borrowing the loan in the student's name, they will absolutely need a cosigner to sign on that loan with them, just because their credit history is so young. It's not old enough to stand alone on a loan application. So the students would need it doesn't have to be a parent, it just has to be a creditworthy cosigner. So if we're looking and comparing these options side by side, like if you already know your family will need more loan money, if we're comparing the federal parent loan to the private loan, there's some pros and cons to each of them. So one thing about the parent loan is that it has a processing fee of about a little over 4%, and the government takes that money as its fee. So if you're borrowing $10,000, they're going to keep 4% and then send us 96%. So if you're not comfortable with the government making money off you like that, then you may want to consider a private loan. The good thing about the parent loan this year is that the interest rate has dropped to 5%. They have not announced it or published it officially yet as of May 31st, but we're expecting it to be 5%. This past year it was a little over 7%. So that's the good news. So it's not for the Parent Plus loan, it's not your interest rate isn't based on your credit like it would be for a private loan. Everyone gets the same interest rate with the Parent Plus loan if you're approved. So there's a pro there. Also, the parent loan in comparison to the private loans is much easier to be approved for. They're looking at less things for the approval or denial, whereas the private loans they're looking at everything. So if you're a little worried about your credit score, maybe you just refinanced something and now it's not a great time to be doing a new loan application, then you might want to lean towards the Parent Plus loan, the federal Parent Plus loan, because it's a little more lenient. That being said, the private loans can offer pretty competitive interest rates if you have good credit, and you actually may be able to get an interest rate lower than the Parent Plus loan depending on your situation. So I recommend considering both options. The private loans can be borrowed in the student's name or the parent's name depending on the lender. So just a few things to consider. I am going to pop back to the other loans that are borrowed in the student's name. the ones that are automatically offered, and talk about interest rates really quickly. So the federal subsidized, unsubsidized loans are, again, the feds haven't published it as of today, but we're expecting them to be between 2.75 and 2.8%, which is way lower than they were last year. Last year, they were 5.05%. So that's really good news. The Beloit College loan is a fixed 5% interest rate. All of these loans, you do not have to pay while you're in school. You actually don't start paying those back for the federal loans until 6 months after you're no longer enrolled half-time, which almost all of our students are full-time. So the half-time part component of that is usually not an issue for our students. And then for the Beloit College loan, it's a 9-month grace period. So 9 months after you're no longer enrolled at least half-time, then your loan payments begin. Which is great. There's no penalty for early payments. If you want to start making payments early, that's fine with us. We can help you arrange that while you're in school. Or if the parent wants to make a payment on the student's behalf, we can help you with all of that. As far as repayment for the Federal Parent Plus loan, you actually get an option on the loan application to defer until 6 months after your student graduates, or you can start paying when they graduate, or you can start paying right away after the loan's dispersed. So there's a few different options with that parent loan. I see a lot of parents choose the deferment option and then make payments as they can, whenever they can, instead of being locked into a payment period. If you were to start paying right away, then you are expected to do a monthly payment every month. So sometimes people will choose that deferment option so that they aren't locked into a monthly payment, but they can still pay when they want. The private loans, it all depends on the lender. It all depends on the loan agreement that you're signing with that lender. Most of them will offer a 6-month grace period and deferment until after the student has graduated, but there are some pay as you go. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think if you have the ability to pay as you go, it's a really great option, so that once you start paying them back when you graduate, the loan balance is much lower than it would have been if you deferred the payments. But that's not an option for everyone. Not everyone has the ability to do that. So then you just want to make sure that you're looking for a loan option that allows you to defer the payments until after you graduate. So that was a really quick overview. Let's show you here the link to sign up for an individual phone appointment. We offer them Tuesdays through Thursdays in the morning and the afternoons. If that doesn't work for you, no worries, just contact us. You can email us at that FA office email. If you lose this contact information, remember, Google's your friend. Just Google Financial Aid Office, Beloit College, and you'll be able to get to our contact section pretty quickly. We have all of our direct phone numbers on there. Even though we're working from home, our phones are being forwarded to our cell phones, so we are still available. I will say, though, it's really hard to tell if someone's calling me or if it's a spam call. So if you call me, please leave a message so I know who is calling me and make sure it's not a spammer, and I'll call you back as soon as I'm able. But we're also available for Zoom appointments. Like if you're having technical issues, then we can set up a Zoom call. I'll have you share your screen, and then I'll walk you through everything I was going to say in person, but I guess it's in Zoom. So yeah, we're trying to come up with ways to service our students in an easy way that works for everyone. So if there's an option or a way that we're not utilizing that you think is a good idea, please let us know. We're doing the best we can as quickly as we can. So yeah, please let us know if we're missing something. But again, yeah, please contact me if you have any questions or concerns. And thanks for watching. Have a good day.